So let's go back to the article. This isn't actually the first time that Israel or its allies have offered really ironic support for Black Americans, right? If we look back just at this summer, in the wake of the police killing of George Floyd, AIPAC, one of the pro-Israel lobbies in the United States, tweeted that it was, quote, mourning George Floyd's death, which serves as a, quote, shattering reminder of the injustice and inequities that Black Americans still endure in our society, end quote. And they went on to say that racism and intolerance and inequality must end.
People who support Israel said that?
Yeah, I know.
Wild.
I actually read that and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So you guys are gonna like stop doing what you're doing to us? Like,
do they know that Israel is racist?
I don't know.
Not only is Israel racist against Palestinians, but Israel was racist against Mizrahi Jews, right? Israeli racist, anthropology and society previously referred to Mizrahi Jews as primitive, said that they needed civilization. They argued racial inferiority. They argued against breeding with them, right? Mm-hmm. To this day, there's the organization, the Lahava, that expresses the exact same sentiment that Jews and Palestinians and people who are not of the exact same culture should not interbreed, right? That's led
insane
by a man who's been convicted of racism and terrorism. That's a fact. Mizrahi children were separated from their parents, right? Same thing with the Yemenite affair. They only recently copped to that, right? And plus, the chief rabbi of the Sephardic community called Black people monkeys. That's ABC News, baby. You know what I mean? Plus, I read from Victoria Silver. She's a Native American Black Jew who recognizes Israel as, quote, another colonial state ruled by supremacy and violence that I will not support.
Wow.
Shouts out to Victoria. I'm like semi in the sun still. It's kind of annoying.
Just stay back. Just stay right there.
Jesus. You sound like the police.
Just stay right there. Don't move.
Stay back.
Just stay right there. Okay, that's not good.
You sound like an Israeli trained LAPD officer.
Right.
Stay back. Let me drop a weapon. And not only does the LAPD and other police departments across the country train with Israel, like military drills and, counterterrorism drills to be used inside of civilian populations. But they also have a policy of dropping weapons, right? Dropping weapons on suspects after they've been shot. It's very common in the United States for a person to be shot unarmed, right? A Black male shot unarmed, Black woman, anyone shot unarmed, and the police have what they call drop weapons.
This has a name.
Yeah, they're called drop weapons.
By the police.
The police have their own name for it, exactly. And they are often these guns that are constructed of various different parts with no trace back to any one particular gun. So it's like, where did this gun even come from? You know what I mean? It's like a Frankenstein gun. And then they just drop it on scene and they're like, yup, he had a gun. And that's very common as well in Israel, where Palestinians will just be living their life, get shot in broad daylight, and then somebody just walks by with a knife, drops it at their head, and then they take a picture of the knife, right, and circulate that online, and they're like, look, this 7-year-old child was about to stab someone. And it's like, all right, okay, whatever you say, Papa.
Yeah, it's true. The notion of alleged knife attacks. It's like you are like wearing 8 levels of SWAT gear.
They look like Ninja Turtles.
Like
you're scared of a child?
Like a knife. Like let's say he had a knife.
Let's say for argument's sake he had a knife. I don't train Krav Maga.
I don't know what that is.
It's their fighting force that they brag about so much.
Oh,
but it's like, it seems like they are only working on their index finger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's we've heard a lot of these stories about Palestinians who are just killed in broad daylight, extrajudicial killings, and then they accuse them of having knives. And again, there's no check. Nobody is there to actually say there was a knife, there wasn't a knife, because Israeli soldiers, when they're committing these crimes, there's never any accountability. These never go anywhere. These cases never go anywhere. Nothing ever happens. It's very similar to the situation in the U.S., where you see these police killings of Black men and women and children, and there's almost never any accountability, ever, ever, ever. So you just do it and you just get away with it, and at best you might get some paid leave, a little vacation time, and that's about it.